Hello everyone, welcome to Technology Tips. Today we are going to be looking at how to host a Microsoft Teams virtual meeting. So we're going to look at some examples today, including utilizing our video, the chat feature. For instructors, how do we view who is in the course and how to call students in, as well as utilize features such as live captions, recordings, and polls and forms. One of the first things we're going to do once we're in our meeting is be sure that we have our audio and our video where we want it. As you can see, if I scroll over this video option, I'm then going to get a preview of my own video. We'll also see on this feature that you can also blur your background and also add background effects. And then you'll also be able to see this mute button here. So anytime you are not speaking, please be sure you have this shut off just so we can hear everyone correctly. We're also going to go over to this Show Participants tab to see who is on the call. By clicking this option, we're then going to see our participant list, which is going to include everyone that was invited to this meeting. So we have myself, we have Henry here, Hank, and Cheryl. And so what we can do is see that myself and Henry are both in the call. We can see that I am not muted. There's no line through my microphone. And we can see that Henry is muted currently. We can also see that Henry's video is off because we just see this circle right here instead of seeing his face. We can also see that Hank is not yet in the call and neither is Cheryl. We can request that they join, which I'll do for Cheryl right here. And then we can also see that this is calling Cheryl in. I'm going to turn my video back on, and I'm going to ask Henry to do the same here. So that way we're troubleshooting our technology together.
There we go. Video and audio both good?
Awesome, sounds great. So if there's some noise going on in the background, I'm going to demonstrate how to mute our students. And students, again, please be sure that you're being proactive in utilizing this feature. So what we can do is, as we've selected the participant tab, we can scroll down, click on these three options, and then click mute participant. We can also see when we click on the participant's three dots that there are options of spotlighting the participant. So if you have a certain student who's presenting or for yourself, you can click this option and click spotlight. And what you'll see is that your picture will be highlighted for the rest of the students, or another student's picture can be highlighted. So I'm going to stop this for right now. And as you'll see as well, there's also a remove from meeting option below. All right, so a couple other options we're going to look at, and I'm going to shut my video off here so we can focus on this other section of the screen, is again through the participants tab. We can also click these three dots, which will allow us to download all attendees. This will let us see who joined in at what time, if they left, and what time they rejoined. So this translates over to an Excel document. We can also click Manage Participants here, which will allow us to adjust who can bypass the lobby. We can allow everyone to present or only certain people. We can allow attendees to mute or unmute. And then of course, there's also a chat feature we'll explore. So this is a great way to kind of adjust the settings of your course overall. If we click the share options, we can also see that we have options below here, including sharing our first screen, our second screen, as well as particular windows that are open. Anytime we open this page up, we can also utilize a whiteboard. Also, for those of you who may be showing videos, be sure to click Include Computer Sound. This little toggle switch will allow your students to hear the content. I'm going to hide my share options here. Next, we're going to utilize the chat feature. So by showing our conversation, with this feature, we can utilize text, as you'll see above. We can utilize reactions. We can utilize attachments, so attaching files, syllabus. We also have emojis and GIFs. And this can be a great way to get them active in the conversation. This is also a great place too to embed quizzes, surveys, polls. So to do this, you can click on those three buttons, or excuse me, those three dots right here. And then here you can type in forms or utilize a different tool as well. And this will allow you to add in polls or any questions that you want to survey your students on. We can also keep our responses anonymous or allow multiple answers. So you can use this to survey your students on topics too. And so if we click Save and send out the poll, it will then be sent to all of our students here, and they'll be able to join right in the middle of their screen or in the chat feature. So some students may not feel comfortable speaking right away, so they may want to raise their hand. So to use this feature, we can scroll right over this little smiley face and hand option where students can click raise their hand, and it will highlight their photo. We also have reaction options. So let's say a student is giving a presentation. At the end, we can click the applause button. We can also click the hand button again to lower it. We can also see some other features here, include breakout rooms, which is a great way to organize your course into smaller groups. So by selecting this, we can then go in and adjust how many rooms we need. We can also automatically assign people or manually. Another feature we can utilize, Teams meeting full screen, apply those background effects we looked at earlier, as well as turn on live captions. This feature is especially great for students who like to see their words in front of them. This can be a great feature for accommodations, as well as just for students who appreciate that visual feedback. Also, to shut this feature off, we can go to More Actions and click Turn Off Live Captions. You'll also see on this drop-down list, there's also a Start Recording option. These recordings are especially great features because they allow us to record class and also for our students to access them later. So by clicking Start Recording, and of course, every time we record class, we want to be sure that our students know they're being recorded. We want to ask if they feel comfortable with this process. Henry has already agreed to this, and so this is a great way for us to just do a little demonstration and to show you how the students can access it as well. So this notification will pop up about the recording. And then to stop recording, same thing where we go to the three dots and click Stop Recording. And again, you'll see these updates throughout, which is updating you on the recording process. You'll also notice too, if we go back to our conversation, that the meeting recording is populating right here. So in other words, everyone who has access to the chat feature, which is going to be all NICC students, especially those who are signed in not as guests. Be sure that you're entering your NICC credentials whenever you are joining a Microsoft Teams meeting. And so within the chat, you'll be able to access the recording. And by clicking it, it will open in your OneDrive to allow it to save. You'll also notice as well that each time you join this recurring meeting, for example, for class every week, if we jump into Student Success Strategies as the same meeting link in our calendar each week, as most of our instructors do, we're then going to be able to see our chat continue each week. In other words, we can scroll up to view a former class meeting recording, as well as view this poll that was populated from the last class. So there's a lot of great options here too. So that is a brief overview of utilizing Teams for virtual meetings. And of course, please reach out if you have questions. Thank you and have a great day.